Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be your wonderful commentator, Hairy Muppet, delivering some more casting goodness straight onto your computer screens, or your mobile phones, or your iPads, or whatever the hell else you are watching this game on. It's the top right is TAUREN. We've cast him before. He's pretty good. I think he may even be level 90 at this point, so that's pretty good. Bottom left, it's another Zerg. I'm casting a ZVZ game. I didn't realize it. I didn't even realize it. ZVZ game. This is going to be the blue Zerg down the bottom left side. Byknight. Alright. Alright, getting back into it. Done. I suppose I could fill up the first 4 minutes of the game by making funny noises, but those two were not... Oh, you try to have a drink so that your mouth's, not completely dry and croaky, so you can actually talk through the whole thing, and then you drink a little bit too much, and you start getting a little bit of the throat gas going on, and it's... I'm still coughing. It's been like 4 months, not 4 months, like 4 weeks or something. I'm still coughing. It's crap. It's just crap. But red Zerg. This is a. Oh, I hate it when this happens. The red guy is on the top right, but he's on the left over here, and the blue guy's on the bottom left, who's on the right. It's there's got to be some way to fix that up. There really has got to be some way to fix that up. Oh, this is not good. Maybe I should cast before eating or before drinking or something. Going on. Early hatchery from the blue Zerg. Early spawning pool from the red Zerg. He's finished. Yes, he's finished. He's building some lings. He's building a queen. This drone is going to be surprised. Somewhat. He's probably... I don't know. He can probably run away from these lings. Probably survive a little bit. But he's going to see the lings popping out. And that's all he needs to know. He needs to know about this game. Oh. So, anyway. Moving on. Maybe if I just talk continuously for the entire game, then it won't be a problem. So, now we go. Speed for the red player. He's really looking like he's going to put in a bit of Ling harass. And here we go. Here's the Ling harass. The Overlord going out to scout. The Ling's coming in. Level 30 Zerg skin. Of course, he's a level 90 player, so you'd expect him to have the level 30. He's going to do quite a lot of hits there. The blue player, he's got some Lings coming out, and I think there should be enough to drive it away there. There we go. They're going to run away. He tried to do a counter, but he sees there's a fair amount of lings there, and they may look a bit more scary, but that does not mean they do more damage. Speed is going to come a little bit faster though for our red player, so he might be able to get some worker kills off the backside of this base if he's fast enough. And he's continuing to produce quite a lot of lings here. Here we go, Baneling's nest as well, and this is going to be devastating. But here we go with some spine crawlers, and this is going to help, and this poor Overlord just didn't quite make it. Here we go, he sends the one ling out, he sees the banelings morphing in, so he's got to be a little bit scared here, but he is morphing in a baneling nest to counter that, so I don't think he's going to lose a massive amount. He's got this ramp well and truly blocked off. He's just going to leave this part of the base to the banelings, and he's just going to try and block this off as best he can. There we go. Does not want to open a gap up here for these lings to get past. Lings are going to go down there. There's more than enough to take this out. I think this base is going to go down. He's trying to force a gap here with the banelings. He might be able to do it. There we go. He forces a gap, but he's not taking advantage of it yet. He's going for the buildings down the bottom. Managed to kill that queen. He could kill a lot of workers down there, but his forces are starting to dwindle, so he's just going for these buildings there. Here come more Ling reinforcements. A couple of banelings going to come out, but the blue player has banelings of his own starting to pop out. So the window for the red player to really do damage is starting to rapidly dwindle, so he needs to get something and then get out of there. And I think he is going to take out this baneling's nest, albeit just barely. There we go. They're not Terran buildings. They don't burn down. They do actually regenerate. So there he goes. He takes it down. Ugh. And gets out of there. He is building more units, so he's relatively okay. But I reckon these guys are about even now, and I don't think the red player is going to do much anymore. You see, he's producing 12 lings, but the blue player is producing 12 lings as well, so it's going to keep being relatively even. And the red player, from all this harass, he's actually behind now. He's behind on the drone count, and I really think that these guys need to just stop this push, because it's not being that effective anymore. He might be able to push in the baneling advantage for the next couple of minutes, but past that, I don't think he's going to be able to do a massive amount. They need to go back to getting the economy up, and that's what they're doing. They're both producing drones at this moment. He's got this force scouting around for a waiting army out there. The other guy's got this force, but I think he's just trying to defend against a counterattack. And you can see he's only just starting to get his expansion up now. He's not going to be that far behind, because this player hasn't had enough workers to fully mine both bases anyway. So they're both well behind on the worker count, and they're both scrambling to catch up. You can see the blue player though, he's getting quite a lot of lings. He looks like he is going for a counter attack here. He doesn't have banelings, and a good few baneling hits should be able to save the red player in this position. Here he goes, sending those 2 lings off to try and get the banelings out. Man, it tries to wipe them out, but he's not quite going to be able to. And if he had destroyed those banelings, was just 1 or 2, but there we go. That was not an awesome hit for the baneling, but it was good enough. These lings trying to stop these intervening lings from getting that baneling. Here comes another baneling up. The banelings are really, really important to the red player at this point, because the blue player just doesn't have... Well, he does have the tech now to do the banelings, I think. So he just needs to buy time to morph a couple of them in, and then they'll be all even again. But the red player's army is just not all that good. I don't think. He's 9 lings versus 30, so he really has no business at all going in there and trying to do something. But he's switching his tactic. He's just using these guys to try and fend off the counter attack, I think. Meanwhile, he's going for a roach warren and a bunch of drones, so he's really going to push to get that economic advantage. But the blue player, sensing that the red is not going to push in for an attack, is going to go switching back to drones. But the red player is going to have the tech advantage very soon. You see he's even got a lair coming up, so he may be going for upgrades fairly soon. Not sure if he doesn't have an evo chamber. I don't believe either player has an evo chamber. And the blue player is starting to get a little bit worried here about the red player not moving in. He obviously guesses something is up, and he's going to try and push in here. He guesses that he probably has a superior army here, so he's really got to make something happen to try and even it up. Comes the banelings, and that was a very good baneling hit. He's got a couple more banelings going on, and the roaches are starting to come out just in time to roaches two-shotting that baneling. That baneling could have been quite devastating otherwise, but look at this, 10 more banelings coming out. The roaches cannot hope to fend off that many banelings, and I think this army is in a lot of trouble at the moment. He's trying to produce roaches, but his gas income is just not that good. He's only on 1 gas at the moment, and that is not where he wants to be for producing roaches. He really needs to get that gas going. There we go, the second Evo chamber on his main base. He's not getting these ones yet, but he's got to think about it soon. There we go, the link trying to move in, and these roaches doing an excellent job of soaking up the banelings, but they're all going to die to the links now because they've just got no health left. However, the defense, it still looks like it did enough of a job. Here comes one last baneling, takes out half the lings, but reinforcing lings come in, and an attack which looked like it may have just been held off is now going to result in quite a lot of drones dying here from this lings coming in. He's got the roaches coming in. They should be able to hold it off, I think. I think he might be able to hold it off, but he did lose a few lings there, maybe 4 or 5 4 or 5 drones going down there in that attack. If we have a look at the income, and the blue player has pulled ahead. He's 10 workers ahead, but the red player has the roach tech. The red player has the roach tech, and I'm not sure that the red player is necessarily at a disadvantage, because he's going to be able to do a a bit better of a job of holding on at this present time, and he's going to be able to push that worker count. There we see 10, 11 workers coming out. The Zerg is going to try and do another push in, I believe, or maybe he's just going to defend, but yeah, there he goes. Looks like he's going to go in a push in with a bunch of banelings. Zerg player still not quite up. He hasn't got his roach numbers up to a very large amount. Banelings all going against the queen. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible use of banelings there. Absolute waste. These 4 lings going to drag these lings away, and these lings now have a pretty open field. I wouldn't mind seeing him go in there, but these guys looks like they were just going for a scout. They're going to try and hit these guys here. Roach is coming down. He really, really needs... He's got the gas now, and there he goes. 8 roaches coming in. And I think this is going to be the end of ling harassment from our blue player. He's going to keep producing lings, but I think with this scary amount of roaches coming out on the field, the red player is going to have to tech up or tech out, or get out, I suppose, one or the other. Yeah, he's really not going to be able to do much more with lings at the moment. But you can see he's switching tech over to the Spire, so almost certainly going to be some muta production going down for him, and you can see he's got a very, very nice gas income. He's got both of these going on, he's got both of these, so if you look at the income, the red player is caught up, he's got both of these gas going, but he's not looking nearly as comfortable with the gas store as the blue player is. And the blue player getting a roach warren just for the hell of it, because mutas are not going to push away a large amount of roaches by themselves, so it'd be good for him to get some roaches. But the red player now going to turn it around. He's going to go in there, and he is going to go and see what damage he can do. He's got a pretty okay roach army. I don't know if the Zerg can wipe him out. Here we go, getting back into the mineral pack, bottlenecking these guys. He might be okay here. There's still a couple of these legs standing out where the lings have a lot of places they can attack from, so he might be in trouble, but he's going to do a fight of it. And these guys are going to last very long, these roaches, just because they're in such a good position. And there we go. This is very close. This is going to be very, very close with these guys. I think the roaches might pull out though. Here we go, roach reinforcements though, but there's so many lings coming out for a blue player. He's just going nuts on the lings. And now we go. He's got his Spire up. He's producing mutas like there's no tomorrow. And this is going to be the end of the roach harass. I think they're pretty much done. They might be able to take out this hatchery, but they are all going to die and there's nothing they can do about it. So I guess we're just going to wait and see what the red player's response is. He's going for some spore crawlers. He's going for a Hydra dens. This is exactly what he needs to do. Hydra's not as mobile as Mutalisk, but they are very, very good at destroying the Mutalisk. He's going to lose a large amount of these roaches, I think. He is going to keep pushing in though. There though. He knows the roaches aren't that good to him back at the base now. So he's going to push in. He's going to kill some workers. And this is good, because those roaches were dead anyway with mutas out in the field. So at least he's going to go in there. He's going to do some damage. And he's going to make the most of them before the mutas wipe them all out. And you can see this amount of mutas is starting to get a bit scary here. It's there's about 10 mutas, 14 mutas going on. 14 mutas can do a lot of damage to your workers if you're not worried. He's got one spore crawler here, one spore crawler here there. I'm not sure that's going to be enough with 14 mutas, but he does have the queens as well to help out, so it might be enough to sort of scare the mutas away. We'll have to see. We'll have to see when the Hydras start coming out. As long as he keeps a group of Hydras around his base somewhere, he should be fine. And here we go, the Infestors. The Infestors, a good fungal growth on these guys is going to work wonders on them. Absolute wonders. You can see all the Overlords just getting the hell out of there, but a lot of them are just going to be too slow to get back in time. And meanwhile, he's sending out the lings. The mutas have no hope at outrunning the lings. The lings have a speed of 4.7. Mutas are fast, but they're not that fast, so they're just not going to work. There we go. They're going to come in. They're going to snipe some queens. And he's really, really, really got to move his Hydras and his Infestors up there. He's got to get a couple of good fungals. There we go. That was brilliant. absolutely brilliant. If you change them correctly, and he's probably over-chaining them, he's probably marking the fungals down when he doesn't need to, a bit too fast, but better safe than sorry. And these mutas, that Mutalisk attack was just absolutely massacred by those infestors. So I've got to say, excellent choice to go for the infestors by our red Zerg player TAUREN. And we have a sort of stalemate at the moment. The red player is pushed off, and he's going to macro up like there's no tomorrow. If you have a look at the income, he's 48 to 39 for a couple of worker attacks before. The blue player didn't really get anything before with the mutas, and now the red player, he's just going for broke. He knows he put the blue player on the back foot there, technologically, with that beautiful infestor counter. The blue player is going to have to regroup. He's going to have to try and find out a different tactic. He's going to go back for mutas, but I don't think this is going to be the answer. Mutas were very, very effectively countered only a matter of minutes ago. So I don't like the decision to go for mutas at this point. I think maybe switching back into lings, doing some good harassment. Here he is going in there. He's getting the mutas. He's doing some nice worker harassment there. There's a spore somewhere there. There's got to be a spore. He's not built a spore yet. Oh, there we go. There's the spore. His muta's going to take it out. Not before all but one of them died, but he did do some very, very nice worker damage here. And you can see the lings going in there. That was, I got to say, that was beautiful timing by a blue player there. He sent the mutas down to the outlying base, and then he sent the lings in there, beautifully timed, to intercept the infestors. And I think he probably took out quite a few infestors there with that ling attack. So excellent timing there. Meanwhile, he's built up his third base again. The red player did lose a bit of harvesters there. Not too much, but he ran them away. But the blue player used that opportunity to build a massive amount of harvesters while the Mutalisks were doing an attack. So these players, very, very evenly matched, I think. In terms of the economy, in terms of the attacks, the counters, they're doing an excellent job of countering each other constantly. Ooh, wish somebody would counter this throat thing. Yeah. He's pushing for the infestors again. He's seen the Mutalisk come after he already counted them once, so he's going to make sure that his infestor numbers still stay pretty strong. He's going for the Hydras as well. He's just basically designing his army to counter the Lings and counter the Lings and the Mutas. I'm not sure these guys are really that good at countering Lings though. I don't think Hydras versus Lings, I'm not sure about. The Hydras do a lot of damage, and they've got a smaller box size, so less Lings can attack a single Hydra than it would be able to attack a single Infestor. But they are, I don't know, I think it'd be about even Hydras versus Lings. I don't know, it depends on the group size. If you've got a small group, like 4 Hydras, they're probably going to get wiped out. If you've got a large group, like 15, 20, they might be able to hold their own, but they would definitely take some losses. They would definitely take some losses. Blue player going for a 4th base. He's really pushing out everything. He's got the Infestors, he's got the Hydras, he's pushing out some Roaches. So you haven't seen much Roach action from the blue player yet, but he got his Roach Warren up at the back as a backup to the Mutas. He's going for the ground armor again, and he's got a Hydralist in, so it looks like he's going to switch over to Roach Hydra and yeah, push in, see what sort of damage he can do. Oh, here we go, Swarm Hosts from the red player. He's got 6 Swarm Hosts coming. We have seen a game, it's in my channel, it's so damn long, it's not even funny. It's like the video's over an hour long or something. It was 6 gig, it took me ages to upload, but that was a Swarm Host game, man. That was, and I can just tell you from the length of that game, man, Swarm Host, man, they drag the game out like there is no tomorrow. But the amount of pressure they can do when you counter them with a nice, watch the game, it's absolutely awesome. It's absolutely, I would go as far as to say it was genius what the guy would do with Swarm Host. He had Swarm Hosts, he is creeped out, he had like 20 Spore Crawlers, and he moved them with the Swarm Host pack, and he had Vipers, and he had a massive amount of Queens out there as well, just Queens defending. And he was untouchable for like a good hour Starcraft time. It was absolutely untouchable. A guy sent void rays, a guy sent ground forces. Nothing could wipe out that army. Eventually, he maxed down on tempests of all things and managed to wipe them out. But no, the swarm hosts, man, they are. If you defend the air, these, and you've got. I mean, the guy in the other game, he had like 30 swarm hosts or something. It was ridiculous. 30 swarm hosts, and they were constantly sending out lurkers. He just wiped out everything. The other guy had no chance at all. And I commented on the damage these guys do. I mean, that's 12 damage, and they hit more than once a second. For a free unit, that's pretty, you know, that's pretty spectacular. And the roaches don't even do that much damage. The hydras don't even do that much damage. See, their weapon speed is slightly higher, slightly slower. Sorry, 0.83 is slower than 0.8, and they do the same amount of damage. So that's just. I'd said it last game, I'll say it this game. The damage done by the Locust is completely OP. You can see these guys. They do about 2/3 of that damage. Yeah, which is fine, because they've got crap all health as well. Infested Terrans, 50 health. These guys, 65 health. Okay, so it's only a little bit more. But, yeah, it's just. I guess the thing is with the Infestors, the infested Terrans cost energy, so you're not going to get an unlimited amount of them, because these guys have the fungal growths, and the fungal growths is so much better than infested Terrans. So the infested Terrans, you don't see them constantly. Locusts, though, every 30 seconds, I think, they come out, and they just do an insane amount of damage. I really like this, though. Fungal growth on the on the Locust. Excuse me, because that's really good. It's like the Storm from the High Templars and the Protoss army. It's good at wiping them out, but it also keeps them standing still. They can't move when they've got fungal growth, and that is a huge bonus. If you fungal growth the front couple of packs, the other ones get trapped behind them. They have to go around, and it just slows them down so much. And that's the thing. That's their disadvantage. Their range is so short. It's only a range of 3. So if you can stop them getting to your base with a fungal growth, I mean, it's just awesome. And you've got Hydras that can take them out from range without having to worry about getting wiped out from the Locust. Because the Locust, they would just rip through a Hydra pack like there's no tomorrow. And we can see the blue player. He tried to get the fungal down. He tried with his whole army pretty much just got wiped down straight away. I'm not sure if I covered it as well as I could, but they just got wiped out, man. You can't stand against swarm hosts when they're used correctly. You just can't. And it's just too hard. It's too damn hard to get in here and destroy these things when they've got an entire army around them. And just the constant pressure from the Locusts. See, the problem is, when it's this army, you've got a decent army, the other guy's got a decent army. You go in there, you play your cards right, you may not win, you may not lose, but you'll take an equivalent number of units off him. And it comes down to good fungal growth placement, of course, but when you're talking about Masters League, you can assume good fungal growth placement. So, yeah, they'd come off about even. Maybe one play would come off a little bit harder, a little bit more, a little bit less. Whatever. But the thing is, you would never, unless you screwed up or did something bad or just got countered, your guy just countered your face off or something and you weren't expecting it, then you can expect it's just going to be an army trade, and then you get back up. Now, it's very hard to do that when you've got Locusts in the mix, because you go in there and you trade a good quarter of your army and you wipe out that Locust wave. And then another Locust wave comes. So, and these guys are tough. They're tough little bastards to take down. And the fact that they're ranged makes it even worse. So, yeah, it's just too tough. I don't know. Nerf the damage. I'm gonna say nerf the damage. Nerf the health, maybe. If they had a lot less health, but I still reckon nerf the damage, because that damage is pretty crazy. Or make it possible that you can only have I mean, even, what did he have, like 6 swarm hosts, 7 swarm hosts? See, I think if you get more than 10 swarm hosts, then it's too much. So you either gotta either nerf the damage, maybe increase the supply cost. I mean, what do they cost? 3 supply, 4 supply, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they jumped, I wouldn't be sad if they jumped up to like 8 supply or something like that, because they're just crazy, or maybe just made it hard limit. I don't know. Anyway, game over. Enough about swarm hosts. We talked about enough about them in the previous game we cast, the hour-long game. So, excellent use here. Both players going to infestors. Excuse me. I really, really, really liked the way the red player dealt with that Mutalisk attack. He was right on it. The Mutas did barely any any damage this first attack anyway. He shut him down with the fungals. He kept the fungals rolling, and I really liked the way he did that. And this tech switch into swarm host, just with the massive amount of hydras, is just, yeah, swarm hosts are OP. There's no other way around it. But good job for the Zerg player using it, and congratulations to both players. This has been Hairy Muppet. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.